We remember those who gave their all in the service of America.
Memorial Day ceremonies return nationwide from Arlington National Cemetery to Northeast Ohio. We talk with residents about what it means to be able to honor our heroes after a year without ceremonies.
Rained out. The popular Walleye Festival was put on hold after the damaging storms this weekend. How vendors are preparing for the next go-around.
It was Christmas 2019 when we saw this many people here.
Travel boom. The holiday weekend reached a pandemic record for travelers. How airports are keeping up with the new demand.
Pool safety. What the CDC is saying about visiting public pools and camps this summer.
COVID comeback. We're helping Ohioans who got in financial trouble during the pandemic get back on track. What's new starts right now.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
Well, good evening, Northeast Ohio. Thanks for watching What's New. I'm Will Ujek, along with January. Keaton, Jay, and Betsy have the night off.
That's right. Today we honor the fallen soldiers who fought for our nation. Ceremonies took place across the country, including at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, where President Biden participated in a wreath-laying ceremony and reminded Americans what today is all about.
We remember those who gave their all in the service of America, in the service of freedom, in the service of justice. We remember their sacrifice, their valor, and their grace.
Vice President Kamala Harris and Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin were also at Arlington National Cemetery with the president. Meanwhile, Friends of the National World War II Memorial and the National Park Service also held a wreath-laying ceremony at the Freedom Wall in Washington, D.C.
Meanwhile, back here at home, ceremonies returned to many of our cities after a year without them due to COVID-19. Chagrin Falls observed Memorial Day with its traditional ceremony at Evergreen Cemetery. Cities like Westlake and Bedford paraded through the streets. And our Mark Namick talked to Northeast Ohioans about what it means to be able to publicly honor those who gave the ultimate sacrifice and be together with friends and family again.
And because of what happened for the last 2 years, I think we appreciate this more.
It's nice to be outside and not have a mask on.
Celebrating together, but also reminding the next generation what Memorial Day represents.
It's remembering the veterans. It's Memorial Day. Yeah, Daddy's a veteran. It's good to be out here. I mean, obviously remembering the veterans and everyone who served and sacrificed, but also brings the community together. This is awesome.
This is important to remember our history, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
In Seven Hills, the mayor arguing the pandemic should remind us of how priceless freedom is.
While our freedom was not curtailed by a foreign enemy, but a pandemic, it still makes us pause when so many things that we sometimes take for granted are taken away from us.
11 official wars and numerous conflicts have left hundreds of thousands of military men and women dead, more than 7,000 in the last decade. The day of parades and ceremonies reminding people of such sacrifice. As we saw, communities across the region celebrated Memorial Day, but not all brought back their big parades, though they hope to next year. Those that did found community members eager to celebrate together and remind people of the sacrifices that men and women made who died in the military. Reporting from Seven Hills, this is Mark Namick, 3 News.
Great to see everyone back out together and for a great cause. Thanks, Mark.
Now on your feed at 5, Vietnam's health ministry announced this weekend that it's detected a highly transmissible new COVID variant. Medical experts say it's a hybrid of the variants found in India and the UK. The variant caused the country to have its first real surge in COVID cases and put it on lockdown. It spreads quickly through the air. So far, no cases have been reported in the U.S. This comes as attention turns back to the origins of the virus. President Biden set a 90-day deadline for U.S. intelligence agencies to get more information on whether the virus spread from a bat through an animal to humans or if it was leaked through a lab. The World Health Organization also facing demands for a deeper investigation.
We would ask that this be done in a depoliticized environment where science and health is the objective of this and not blame and politics.
A recently revealed U.S. intelligence report confirmed by NBC News found 3 workers at the lab were treated for COVID-like symptoms at the hospital before the outbreak in Wuhan. Pressure is now mounting on China to provide more transparency and more access to data.
And time is running out to get your COVID vaccine at the Wolstein Center. The mass vaccination site closes 1 week from today on June 7th. The clinic is offering the Pfizer vaccine because it's the only one approved for Americans ages 12 and up. Those who get their first dose before the clinic closes will receive their second dose at a local discount drug mart. Walk-ins are welcome, but you can also make an appointment. We have all that information at WKYC.com. The clinic will have run 12 weeks with nearly 255,000 doses administered in the first 10. And the annual Walleye Festival in Port Clinton has been rescheduled to start this coming Thursday after storms flooded the area the weekend and left vendors trying to salvage everything that they could. One vendor, Steve Hammer of Hammer Time Lure, spent the weekend saving everything. Now he's been busy with the help of friends and family cleaning up and repackaging merchandise to give it another go this coming weekend. Steve says not only has his family and friends pitched in, but the community also rallied, offering help, words of encouragement, and even to buy some of the waterlogged merchandise.
It's been overwhelming. It really has. Seeing the support that we get, you never really think that you affect and you touch people like that. It's been pretty overwhelming. It's been great.
Now, Steve and the rest of the vendors will be all set for the Walleye Festival Round 2, which runs Thursday through Sunday in Port Clinton.
Good news for beachgoers. The water quality at Villa Angela Beach improved today. The predicted water quality test came back good this morning after poor results this weekend. The poor test results showed high levels of bacteria. Sewage overflows is one of the causes. The sewer district is working to reduce overflows to keep that water cleaner. Well, the lovely weather and the unofficial kickoff to summer today has everyone thinking of fun in the sun. Many community pools welcoming back swimmers, but some are wondering if it's safe to gather in the water when we're not quite out of the pandemic woods just yet. In its recently released summer camp guidance, the CDC says it's safe for vaccinated children to enjoy camp as normal. No masks, no social distancing. And those guidelines go for all fully vaccinated people looking forward to summer.
Consider limiting number of people at the pool or venue so people can stay 6 feet apart from those they do not live with.
The CDC posted a video on its website with guidance for operators of public aquatic venues to keep staff and visitors COVID safe.
Clean and disinfect equipment and pool toys between use.
According to the CDC, the risk of COVID infections of or from fully vaccinated people is minimal, and there's no evidence that COVID can spread through water at the places we visit to swim, like beaches or pools. But when it comes to swimming, infection isn't the only concern caused by COVID.
We have dealt with lifeguard shortages in Ohio for a number of years.
Woody Woodward of Ohio's Parks and Recreation Department spoke to me by phone today. He says lifeguard shortages aren't uncommon, but the pandemic made the numbers worse.
Some of these pools were not able to really go out and begin to hire lifeguards until later in the spring because they didn't know if they were going to be able to be open.
Folks just weren't applying to not only get certified and take the classes that we offer, but then also to apply for the lifeguarding positions.
Now, Ohio Parks and Rec says even with a shortage of lifeguards, you can still feel safe swimming. Pools wouldn't be open if they weren't staffed adequately to maintain safety. Now, Cleveland will open all 20 of its outdoor pools on June 12th.
And as we mentioned, Memorial Day is the first holiday with fewer COVID restrictions in over a year. It had many families ready to start summer early. In one day, 1.9 million travelers passed through airport security, which is the highest since the start of the pandemic. Since Thursday, 5 million passengers got on an airplane. Today could be the busiest travel day in over a year as people head home. Meanwhile, crowds packed beaches. In fact, Myrtle Beach brought in extra security to handle them. Hotels were predicted to be 80% full. The Indy 500 welcomed 135,000 spectators and COVID vaccines on site.
All right, guys, check this out. Petrie, the bald eagle at the Akron Zoo, met Master Sergeant Leroy Petrie over the weekend. The eagle has the same last name as the sergeant. So the eagle's first name is the sergeant's last name. The zoo says Petrie the eagle painted a picture for the sergeant, who what you just saw there. He was awarded the Medal of Honor back in 2011 to thank him for his service. Pretty cool. And of course, we here at 3 News thank Sergeant Leroy Petrie for his service as well.
I want to see that eagle paint. Maybe we'll have that coming up. But what we do have coming up is financially recovering from the pandemic. Well, advice from one advisor on what to focus on first and some negotiations you can make to get back on track.
And Friends is making headlines again, even though its reunion special is already out. One iconic scene from the series reinvented with Courtney Cox and one musician coming up in your pop break.
And Matt, some nice weather for Memorial Day. What else is on tap? Hopefully it's sticking around.
Boy, Will, in January doesn't get much better than this. Low humidity, temps in the low 70s, and lots of sunshine. CSU cam look right now at a sunshiny Cleveland. This trend will continue as we go over the next week and a half. We've got some summery weather on the way. We'll talk about that and some thunderstorm chances. Meanwhile, your outdoor dining forecast picture perfect tonight. Thumbs up inside and outside as those clouds continue to float in. We've got that forecast to include that summer-like heat. Wait till you see some of these numbers coming up when we return.
Well, it's Money Monday on What's New. Thousands of Ohioans lost their jobs during the pandemic, but the bills, they kept coming in. Today, Consumer Investigator shares ways to rebound and get your finances back on track.
Kimberly Kelly, like millions of Americans,
I got furloughed March 17th.
Is drowning in bills accumulated during the pandemic.
Bills are getting behind. Rent's getting behind. My vehicle was broke down, so I couldn't get to work.
They've gotten in this financial rut, for lack of a better word, and they're trying to dig themselves out. You know, what I've been trying to do is just help people get back on track.
Financial advisor Jason Fuchs is working with countless people financially recovering from the pandemic.
Obviously, you know, the damage is already done.
Fuchs says in order to recover, it's going to take hard work and a lifestyle change.
I think the biggest thing to focus on right now is the budget.
Include the necessities: housing, utilities, vehicle payments, groceries, and old credit card bills.
Then what you want to do is look at, what can I cut back on?
Maybe it's fast food, streaming services, shopping sprees. Track every dollar you spend.
Restructure. So once you've figured out what you're spending your money on, once you've created this budget, you learn to live inside that budget.
Fuchs recommends using an app like Mint, which tracks your spending and the budget you set. Next, can you cut down the price of your necessities further?
Not many people know that you have the ability to renegotiate your bills.
Some companies may lower the amount you owe them.
Other companies will lower the interest that you're paying, so that money that you're paying over the long term will be less.
Negotiate the interest rate on your credit card debt.
I've seen someone go from 30% to 10%.
For those of you with sky-high medical bills after COVID.
Some hospitals, some healthcare professionals will actually accept a lesser monthly payment than what is stated on the statement. And a lot of times they won't charge you interest.
Call these companies and make sure you're talking with someone who has the power to renegotiate your bill.
I always start with trying to pay someone less, because in the end, that's going to be way more beneficial. And if not, then start talking about the interest rate. Well, you're charging me 20%. The guys down the street would only charge me 10%.
Once you've trimmed all that you can, save every dollar.
What you want to do is you want to rebuild your emergency savings account.
Fuchs says your emergency savings should cover 3 to 6 months worth of your budget.
And I get it, 3 to 6 months it's a lot of money. I understand it's tough. Not doing anything, though, is not a solution. You have to do something.
If needed, start with small contributions regularly until you're at the point you can add more.
Once you get to that 3 to 6 months, then you can start having fun. Go buy that car that you wanted to buy, or maybe take that vacation that you wanted to buy, because at that point, you're going to have that financial freedom that we all strive for.
Danielle Serino, 3 News.
Oh, Matt Wentz, I could not have asked for a better day if I tailor-made it myself. Yes, the weekend might not have been that great, but boy, did it make up for it today on the holiday, huh?
Yeah, January, we're making up for lost time around here, let's be honest. Friday and Saturday is typically my weekend, and it turned out beautiful. We spent a lot of time inside and no time outside. So this is certainly time for everyone to get out and about. I know, everyone that had the parades and everything this morning, that went well. We've had some really hot and humid Memorial Days around here, so picture perfect. But January, the big question on everyone's mind is what happens from here, right? We can't always have nice things around here. So let's get to the forecast. Things will start to change, especially if you like summer-like weather. We'll get there, but in the meanwhile, it is just gorgeous outside. Upper 60s, low 70s, generally the rule. You get in that sunshine, it feels 10 to 15 degrees warmer, so it does feel like the 80s if you get in that direct sun. But why is it so comfortable? Because we've got virtually no humidity outside. Dew points, that is a true measure of how muggy it feels. These are in the 30s and 40s, so this is bone-dry air outside, so you're barely breaking a sweat if you go for a walk or run this evening. And that wind, what a difference a weekend makes, right? Friday, we had the waves, all of the lakeshore flooding, and all the beach erosion problems, especially out in the western basin. Winds have subsided. Clouds are starting to increase, though. This is your really next weather player moving in from the west. You can see there's quite a bit of rain, areas of Illinois stretching into western Indiana. We've got that very dry air in place. Remember that. So as this moves in, a lot of this will start to evaporate and turn to virga, which is rain that falls and doesn't reach the ground. But what we will see out of this are increasing clouds. I think we'll have a beautiful sunset tonight with those clouds moving in. So get your cameras ready. Go ahead and tag me on Twitter, Wentz Weather. We always love your sunset pictures. Boy, you capture it better than I could. But the bigger picture, the system responsible for the cool air over the weekend is off the East Coast now, and you can see how it turns unsettled across the plains. That's going to be our shower and thunderstorm chance really arriving on Wednesday. So clouds sticking up tonight. The clouds help to insulate us, so we'll be in the 50s for a low as opposed to last night's 40s. We got down to 42 degrees at Hopkins this morning. Gone are those cool days. We're going to start to replace them with warmer days. Your National Design-Mart hour-by-hour forecast showing those clouds moving in. Tomorrow, most of the day should be dry. There's just an outside risk of a spotty shower. Remember, we have that dry air, so a lot of this will be evaporating, but I can't rule out a couple sprinkles across the area. Otherwise, we're dealing with a pretty cloudy day tomorrow. Clouds should break for some sunshine later in the day. High temperatures, though, still in the low 70s, so a comfortable day. Wednesday's our next real shot at rain. There's a system coming from the south. That will bring rain in from the southwest in waves. Could even have some rumbles in there as well. Looking long-term, though, boy, boy, do we have some changes. This arrives next weekend, so we're already talking Saturday, Sunday, Monday of next week. All indication is a big dome of heat develops across the eastern half of the country, and that will bring temperatures way up into summer-like levels. And yes, that humidity will follow. We're in with the rain on Wednesday to some humid categories on Thursday, Friday, and it looks to stay there. We do need the rain, though, and it does look like we're going to have some pretty good shots at some showers and thunderstorms as we get it into Wednesday, Thursday, and then again next week. Union Home Mortgage 7-day forecast, cooler with the clouds and the rain chances over the next couple days. Again, not a lot of rain tomorrow. Bulk of it arrives Wednesday and Thursday with some storms. And then it's off to the races in terms of the heat. We're talking mid-80s by the weekend. I think we go mostly sunny and hazy, and I'm calling it 90 degrees next Monday. I know models showing a little bit less, but this looks like some impressive AC running weather coming up in our forecast. January.
All right, looks good. Thank you, Matt. You know, I will take the rain showers if it means we're up in the 70s. I'm willing to give that a chance. Those
right.
two things.
You don't
just
like
fine.
40s and rain.
Oh,
I feel
no,
you.
no, thank you. All right, thank you, Matt. Well, coming up, parents will go to great lengths for their kids. We all know that, right? Hear the new skill Jay-Z decided to do next in your pop break.
Then today's Worth the Watch is all about reuniting. Wait until you see the reaction during a sister surprise. That's ahead after pop break.
All right, everyone, we have a lot to get to in our pop break today. From Jay-Z learning to swim, Courtney Cox and Ed Sheeran recreating an iconic Friends dance, and Naomi Osaka getting fined. Here's Kierra Cotton with all you need to know.
Naomi Osaka has withdrawn from the French Open. The bold move comes after the 23-year-old tennis phenom was fined over the weekend for refusing to speak with the press at the tournament, citing lack of concern for the mental health of athletes. After being fined and threatened with removal from the competition, Osaka took to Twitter yesterday responding, saying, "Anger is a lack of understanding. Change makes people uncomfortable." However, today she took to Twitter with a different message, saying, "I think now the best thing for the tournament, the other players, and my well-being is that I withdraw so that everyone can get back to focusing on the tennis going on in Paris." Osaka is a 4-time Grand Slam champion and former #1 ranked player. There are a few things most parents won't do for their children. For hip-hop mogul Jay-Z, that includes learning to swim. In a sit-down for the newest season of LeBron James' show, The Shop, the father of three revealed why acquiring the new skill was important to him. He said, "If she ever fell in the water and I couldn't get to her, I couldn't even fathom that thought. I gotta learn how to swim, that's it." In the episode, he goes on to explain that he wants his children to feel supported enough to embrace their own journeys, despite their parents' success in the music industry. Has Courtney Cox found her real-life Ross? Over the weekend, the Friends star and singer Ed Sheeran recreated the iconic routine in a video posted to Instagram. The dance number was made famous during season 6 as Cox and David Schwimmer, who played Ross, tried to get the camera's attention at Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve. Cox captioned the video, "Just some routine dancing with a friend," with the hashtag #ReRoutine.
The nostalgia just keeps on coming. First the reunion special, now this. What more could we ask for? Back to you guys.
That dancing was awful. But what wasn't awful is Jay-Z learning how to swim for his kids. That just touched my heart.
Yeah, you know, I already know how to swim, but I had to learn how to like pull hair back for my daughter. And January, at first, it just kept looking like Lin-Manuel Miranda in a weird braid. But I think I'm getting down to it. Unless it needs braided, then I have to send her to my wife.
That's right. We don't want to overstress you. We don't want you to...
One step at a time, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now to our Worth the Watch. Two sisters who live on opposite sides of the country had not seen each other in 18 months because of the pandemic. So the sister in New York got on a plane and flew to San Francisco to surprise her sister on her birthday. What would you do if this happened?
I can't even stand it. Oh, look. Oh.
Have you been surprised like that, January?
Never to that extent. Oh, but that is so sweet. 18 months, that's a long time not to see your sister. I have a sister, so I can understand what that must feel like.
Yeah, I have one too, and I think the only surprise I ever got was something thrown at my face when I was sleeping to wake me up.
Well,
I never got anything like this.
that's the brother-sister dynamic, you know. That's just that. With sisters, look at that.
Heartwarming
stuff. So sweet. And again, 18 months, long time. All right, on the next half hour of What's New, Vietnam is dealing with their first real spike in COVID cases. We have details on the new variant causing it.
And a local doctor helped his wife through her dementia diagnosis. Now he's fighting his own battle with it while helping others better understand the disease.
Then many Americans hit the road this weekend to see family for the first time in more than a year. We'll take a look at the spike in travel numbers and the summer travel outlook.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
Okay, let's get you caught up on 3 things you need to know at 5:30. From Westlake to Chagrin Falls, communities across Northeast Ohio all found a way to observe Memorial Day. It's the first time in more than a year that parades and ceremonies have taken place due to COVID. 11 official wars and numerous conflicts killed hundreds of thousands of military men and women, more than 7,000 in the last decade. Residents we talked to today said it felt good to be out remembering everyone who served and sacrificed.
A new COVID variant has Vietnam on lockdown. Authorities say it's a hybrid of variants found in India and the UK. The variant caused Vietnam's first real surge in cases. Health officials warn that this new variant spreads quickly by air. So far, no cases have been reported in the U.S.
And back here at home, time is running out to get your COVID vaccine at the Wolstein Center. The mass vaccination site closes 1 week from today on June 7th. The clinic is offering the Pfizer vaccine this week because it's the only one approved for Americans ages 12 and up. Those who get their first dose before the clinic closes will receive their second dose at a local discount drug mart. Walk-ins are welcome. You can also make an appointment if you like. We have all the information you need at WKYC.com.
And with that, we welcome you back to What's New. I'm January Keaton with Will Ujek. Jay and Betsy have the night off.
Yeah, lucky them. They're probably out grilling somewhere, I bet, January. But hey, every day at 5:30, we do have our countdown to summer, and today marks 20 days. Can you believe that already?
20 days.
I feel like it was just snowing.
Time is flying. And that brings us to our top talker. Memorial Day weekend. It's known as the unofficial start of summer.
And it is the first holiday with loosened COVID protocols. NBC's Chris Pallone takes a look at how Americans observed the day.
The president and vice president observed Memorial Day at Arlington National Cemetery. President Biden laying a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier before urging Americans to remember why so many gave so much for the nation.
They weren't fighting for self. They were fighting for the soul of the nation, for liberty and simple fair play. Simple fair play and decency. Today, as we remember their sacrifice, we remind ourselves of our duty to their memory.
It marked a day of solemn commemorations and remembrances from coast to coast. A return somewhat to pre-pandemic normality. Like in Doylestown, Pennsylvania, where the nation's oldest Memorial Day parade returned after being canceled last year.
To have the Memorial Day parade back again is, it doesn't sound like much, but it's a big deal.
Also a big deal, the return to holiday travel. Packed beaches, crowded airports, busy roads. Signs this might be the busiest U.S. travel day since the pandemic began. Many crediting the nation's COVID vaccine rollout for a renewed sense of hope.
To know that we can travel and be with family and hug a little better without being scared is a great feeling.
A sense of cautious celebration. As a grateful nation remembers what and who made it all possible. Chris Pallone, NBC News.
Now, on the travel front, TSA set a new record this weekend with 1.9 million travelers in one day. That's the highest number that we've seen since the start of the pandemic. And since Thursday, 5 million passengers traveled on a plane. By the 4th of July, TSA will have added 3,100 officers, and they're planning to bring on 1,000 more.
Many people are also grilling out today, as he mentioned, Jay and Betsy are. But as that grill fires up, so will your wallet. Beef prices seeing a sharp rise nationwide, up almost 10% over last year, according to the USDA. Bacon, our best friend bacon, is averaging $6.22 a pound. That's up from $5.52 last year. And steak has seen an almost $1 increase per pound, averaging $6.64 compared to $5.85 last year.
It's like gasoline prices. People tend to notice what their favorite cut of beef cost. Consumer demand is really, really strong as the economy opens back up and folks go back to restaurants and travel and hotels.
Well, from supply chain shortages on farms to fewer workers in meat factories, butchers are forced to raise prices. Your best bet, call ahead of time, see how much the meat you want is going for, so you aren't sticker shocked when you get there. All right, still a lot ahead on what's new, including a new statue going up in Little Italy, how the historic neighborhood is honoring a Cleveland Indians legend. Coming up in Clicking in Cleveland.
And a man's dedication to one foundation comes full circle. Lindsey Buckingham shares what's next on a local doctor's troubling journey. Mr. Wentz, hello again.
Can I try to do this?
Well, hi there, Will. Beautiful day outside once again. Do you even realize it's Daddy's last day at home?
Yeah.
Are you sad or happy?
Happy.
Happy? That's awesome. Yep. She's happy to get me back to the studio tomorrow. It's been a long year and a half, hasn't it? But temperature-wise, guys, we're dealing with just a gorgeous day today. We know that. But where do we go from here? We've got heat, humidity, and summer-like storms on the way. We'll take you through that forecast. Last day from home coming up.
Hey, yeah, that was really quiet, but I do hear you.
Well, welcome back to What's New on this Memorial Day Monday, and beautiful day it is out there. Matt, Emmy, what are we seeing as far as how long this is going to stick around?
Well, Will, the summer-like temperatures are here to stay. Boy, I mean, it was just, I don't want to say it was that bad, but I mean, it was pretty chilly over the course of Friday, Saturday.
Yes, it was.
I don't see anything like that coming again. Right. Not quite the day to cook out or mow the lawn. Let's just say that. But things are going to start to heat up. It's going to be very summer-like this week as we go forward, and it's going to go in steps, though. That's the good news. Nothing's going to hit us directly here. We'll have some time to ease into it. That's the way it looks right now. So temperatures right now outside generally, these are thermostat settings for many of us. Upper 60s, low 70s is the rule. We've got lots of sunshine. We do have some clouds starting to build in, but the reason why it's so comfortable, the dew points are just so low in the 30s and 40s. Now, dew points, this measures how muggy it feels. They tend to creep up this time of year, not just because it's turning closer to summer and we tap into Gulf of Mexico moisture, but all of our trees have leaves now. All that foliage perspires and puts out moisture in the air, so it's really hard to get dew points this low this time of year because leaves are still throwing out moisture in the air. So this is really incredible air across Northeast Ohio, so make sure you treasure it tonight. Calm winds for many of us. You get towards the lakeshore, we've got light winds, nothing compared to what we had over the course of the weekend. You can see the sunshine giving way to some high clouds. We will have a fantastic sunset tonight. I'm just calling it because these high clouds, when they're coming in, right when the sunset hits, tend to make some really fantastic picturesque views. So I think we'll have that. You see the rain off towards the west. That will stay west of us. We've got that dry air in place, so a lot of that going to fall apart. This isn't a system that's developing. It's just a system that's kind of falling apart as it moves in. So that'll bring clouds tonight, perhaps a sprinkle tomorrow, but most of the unsettled weather is down in Texas right now, and it's that low that will slowly make its way up here on Wednesday. So clouds will increase tonight. Clouds act like a blanket, so they'll hold our heat in, and temperatures will fall back into the 50s as opposed to the 40s. Your outdoor forecast tomorrow looking great. Again, you see the cloud icons there. We will have more clouds tomorrow. Peaks of sunshine in the afternoon. High temperatures, so comfortable, generally in the lower 70s. Let's go hour by hour with your National Design Mart forecast. You can see the models indicating the clouds really start to thicken up tonight. I agree. Temperatures will reach into the 70s again tomorrow, with more of the clouds in the morning and midday than the afternoon. And again, can't rule out a stray sprinkle. Most of that will evaporate before it hits the ground. Tomorrow afternoon, we break into some sunshine, and we're not going to see much of that as we get on into Wednesday. That's our next hit of rain. You can see clouds really start to increase, and we're talking rain showers, even a couple rumbles around here from time to time on Wednesday. We could use that rain, though, and certainly will be coming and going throughout the day. The humidity's been on the low side, but it will start to ramp up. Once we get that rain on Wednesday, we'll welcome a warm front in here, and by Thursday, Friday, we're back to the humidity, and that looks to last all the way through the weekend. The upper levels do this. You can see how we've been in the cooler air, but watch what happens in the weekend. We get a big dome of heat that develops in the eastern half of the country, very similar to the one we had about 2 weeks ago around here. The difference is we're talking June sun now, so this could be a little bit warmer than last time. I think we may end up seeing some highs in the 90s by next week. We'll see how it works out, but you can see how that heat sticks around. In terms of the rainfall, you can see the system that comes in Wednesday will bring some showers and storms to the area, but then it kind of lingers. So Thursday, I think, is going to be a pretty stormy day around here. Friday should be clearing out, and that'll set us up for our hot, steamy weekend around here. We'll have to keep an eye on if there will be isolated thunderstorm chances. Otherwise, I think we're dry right now. And in terms of that rainfall, yeah, we've got some chances. At least it's on us for the possibility. That's better than not, because we have been pretty dry around here, relatively speaking. Union Home Mortgage 7-day forecast, cooler with the clouds, so we'll stay in the low 70s the next 3 days with the rain around Wednesday, Thursday. Friday's the transition point, though. We're in the 80s with isolated storms. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I've got us in the heat up near 90 degrees, and it will be coming with some humidity, too. So certainly a big change as we get into next weekend. And I know a lot of kiddos out there. Emmy, you're one of them. You're waiting to use this really cold pool sit next to us, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, what are we waiting for?
I don't know.
Weren't we waiting for it to warm up? Didn't you say it was ice cold earlier?
No.
No, what, you're okay with it now?
It was just a little bit of cold.
Yeah, all right. Well, we'll jump in after the newscast. So, Will, anything you're waiting for?
Matt, let me ask you. So the thermals, the boots, the winter jackets, box them, put them away. We're done with them, right?
Yeah.
I can hold you
to that.
Put
them away, Will. Just make sure you label them. You didn't label them last year, and I know you had just all sorts of fits finding them again.
It said like light bulbs. I don't know what that was about. Hey, but let me ask you, last day working from home, I've seen you in here on the weekend, but this is it from you from home. What are you going to miss most? Probably the one next to you.
Yeah, the one next to me and the other two. It's just the convenience. This has been 14 months running now where families have welcomed our family into your house, and I know it's been kind of crazy at times, but you can't beat this. The daddy family time is just, and this, Will, is just precious. It really is, and I appreciate every moment of it.
Yeah, I can relate. Well, tell Emmy that we'll take good care of you.
I will.
Oh, very cute. All right. Well, it is time to see what's clicking in Cleveland from another one of our 3 News family members who is also working on her very last day from home. You ready to come back, Stephanie Haney?
Oh my gosh, January, I will tell you what, it's been a nice run here at Studio Stephanie. I know we're all going to miss hearing Winston snoring in the background. That's my puggle, in case you haven't caught that from time to time, but I'm excited to get back in there. I'm excited to hopefully meet you.
Yes, I can't wait. We have not met each other yet, but I feel like I already know you.
Me too. And I want to say happy Memorial Day to you, January, and happy Memorial Day to everyone at home. What we have for you today are new details about the new statue that's going up to honor the tribe legend Rocky Colavito. That's happening in Little Italy. What we know is the groundbreaking is scheduled for tomorrow. That's to honor the 4-time All-Star who slugged 190 home runs in his career, playing for Cleveland from 1955 to 59 and again from 1965 to 67. Now, the statue will be unveiled at the FIFA Feast of Assumption Festival, another thing coming back this year with Colavito there on August 10th. Our 3 News contributor Doug Tratner brings us the best patios in Cleveland this week with our Save Our Sauce feature. Now this first one combines 2 of my favorite things, a rooftop lounge and an outdoor patio. It's Garden City and it sits above Kindred Spirit Restaurant in the Van Aken district. Now you can get small plates from downstairs paired with creative cocktails. Back to Little Italy. La Dolce Vita has a great patio with pasta platters on your table and lush vines and flowers all around you. And in Detroit Shoreway, the management at Lux turned a parking lot into one of the prettiest patios in town. Visit WKYC.com/saveoursauce for more incredible patios in Cleveland. And with Memorial Day marking the unofficial start of summer here in Northeast Ohio, we've got to take a peek at Laura DeMarco's Must-Do Summer Fun Guide. On June 19th, you can take in downtown Cleveland's first annual Freedom Fest. That's to honor the last black people who were freed from slavery in Texas in 1865. Check out Yay Saturdays in University Circle with kid-friendly and free fun every Saturday from June 12th through July 12th. And outdoor music festivals are back with Wonderstruck July 24th and 25th at Lakeland Community College. Those headliners include Walk the Moon, Portugal the Man, and Third Eye Blind January. That's an incredible lineup and a lot to look forward to. What about you for this summer? Big summer plans here in Northeast Ohio?
Wait, I already have tickets to Van Gogh. I already am going to a couple of festivals, so I am ready to roll. Boy, you just listed a lot of stuff going on. No one can say there's nothing to do in Cleveland this summer.
That is for sure. I will tell you that.
All right. Thank you so much, Stephanie. Well, coming up next, a local doctor's personal mission to better understand a disease that hits close to home.
Then a need for speed. Just how long one man has been attending the Indy 500 race. Ahead and show us something good. And this week, Save Our Sauce explores the best patios in Cleveland. That's still growing. Flight Wine Bar in Detroit Shoreway neighborhood does it right from top to bottom, including their patio that boasts a fun painted design on the ground. Visit WKYC.com/saveoursauce for the best patios from our Doug Tratner.
Welcome back, everybody. More than 1 in 9 people over the age of 65 have Alzheimer's disease, meaning you likely know someone touched by it.
But no one knows it more than Dr. Charlie Farrell, whose life mission of understanding memory loss has become very personal once again. Lindsay Buckingham reports.
Go, Dr. Charlie!
Come on, Papa.
Woo!
In the summer of 2019, a then 82-year-old Dr. Charlie Farrell braved the cold waters of the San Francisco Bay, swimming from Alcatraz with his life partner Louise, raising awareness for dementia.
Dementia can really turn into a prison in a person's own life.
But it doesn't have to be. Since his wife Carolyn's death from Lewy body dementia in 2015, Dr. Charlie dedicating his life to a foundation in her honor, making sure families get the hope and help they need for free.
When they first get this diagnosis, unfortunately, they tend to panic and they accept the concept that once you develop dementia, this is the end of your life. There's no place to go.
Here at the Carolyn L. Farrell Foundation, they'll always have somewhere to go. Now, after years of supporting those touched by dementia, Dr. Charlie has something he wants to share.
After several months recently of testing, I do have dementia.
The disease he's devoted years of his life to understanding now inhabits his own body. He's facing his diagnosis with courage and confidence.
I've lived with dementia and cared for folks with dementia for approximately 20 years. I had the privilege of caring for my wife at home for approximately 15 years, and we found that our life at home turned out to be quite positive. We're very confident about our care plan.
He'll get the kind of care the Farrell Foundation and his family promote, strengthening independence, not taking away from it.
So I think with dementia care, family members see people unable to do things, so they start to take away tasks from them thinking that they'll help.
The sensitivity is everything to Dr. Charlie's daughter, Reverend Katie Norris, a Texas-based dementia care specialist herself.
Procedural memory, which is memory of how to do tasks, especially like tying your shoes, cooking, getting dressed, all these things people start to actually take away from people with dementia. That actually lasts a really long time through the course of dementia. It's just that there's a gap.
That's why Dr. Charlie is sharing his experience with others coping with memory loss. He calls it My Journey with Al, short for his Alzheimer's diagnosis, which falls under the umbrella of dementia. By sharing my journey, I can show others how my family and community create an environment that will allow me to maintain my dignity and a meaningful life of joy.
Welcome to My Journey with Al, Alzheimer's, and this is my dad.
He'll also share in a video blog with Katie.
I feel very comfortable with where I am.
And there's one more thing. Another swim this summer to raise awareness for dementia with his Louise. They'll finish the race and this life together.
I have confidence. I'm not worried. I know he knows, and he's helping me learn how to work with this, and I'm happy to do it.
My family remains very supportive, and the foundation is extraordinarily supportive, so I don't have any reason to believe that it ain't going to work.
Lindsay Buckingham, 3 News.
And we will continue to follow Dr. Charlie's story, including his planned swim in Upper Michigan this summer. He's sharing his journal for those who'd like to read it. You can find a link to My Journey with Al on WKYC.com.
And still ahead, one man is back in his element, the Indy 500. Just how many he's attended in his lifetime and what it means to be back in the stands.
Then, on what matters most at 6, 2 of Cleveland's historic Lakeview landmarks reopen to the public. We'll show you some of the new requirements if you want to head out. Coming up at 6. And it's pop quiz time, everybody. What year was Memorial Day declared a federal holiday? Was it 1925, 1952, or 1971? We'll have that answer for you when we come back.
You want me up there now?
All right, now before the break, we asked you, what year did Memorial Day become a federal holiday? 1925, 1952, 1971. Will?
You know, I wanted to say sometime in the 60s, but it's not an option, so I'm going to go after the 60s and go 71.
All right, and the answer is 1971. That man is a genius. According to History.com, he's clapping for himself, too. That day was originally known as Decoration Day. It originated after the Civil War. Very good, Will.
I'm not smart. I'm just a good guesser, January. I always did well on multiple guesses is what I called it in school.
It's still the right answer.
Hey, there we go. It doesn't matter how we got there as long as we got to the right one. And now it's time for our Show Us Something Good. Now, one man spent his weekend doing what he loves best, going to the Indy 500.
From an emotional standpoint, this is a very emotional time. I missed it, and I certainly feel very, very blessed that I'm able to be here this year.
84 years old, Rick Barb attended his 75th Indy 500. His streak of attending the race broken last year due to the pandemic. But Barb says he's been a fan since he was 10 years old. Doesn't plan on missing any more.
Wow, 75 Indy 500s. That is impressive.
Have you ever attended anything that consecutive? I mean, obviously not that many, but do you have a running tally going on anything?
Absolutely not. Nothing like that. That is remarkable. I can't even figure out sometimes which shoes to wear with what outfit. Yeah. I don't know. Thanks for joining us, guys. Will and I had a great time with you. What's next with Jay and Betsy? They'll be back tomorrow, of course.
Yeah, and what matters most with my old pal Danielle Serino starts right now.
Honoring the fallen. We'll take a look at how Memorial Day was celebrated across Northeast Ohio as communities and families remembered those who served our country. New variant alert. Vietnam is now on lockdown as a highly contagious COVID variant hits the country. We'll hear why experts say now is the time to find out how the virus started. Ready to swim? As community pools look for workers, we'll share the safety precautions in place this summer and the CDC's recommendations. Preparing for round 2.
You can sit back and you can cry about what happened, or you can just move forward. So, that's what we decided to do.
And flooding canceled the Walleye Festival in Port Clinton this weekend, but there's a new date. Local businesses share how they're getting ready.
From the WKYC studios, this is What Matters Most.